Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Friday Night Funkin' reaction. Been a long time since I've heard anything from this neck of the woods, and this is another mod. A Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared mod. This mod is called 201 Street. I'm assuming that that's just the name of the mod and that it's not referring to anything specifically in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. I have seen all of those. I was around the time when it first started showing up. I think I was in late middle school, early high school, somewhere in that window, most likely. It's been a while. I kind of get thrown off realizing how long it's been since those came out, but that's beside the point. I'm going to get to hear what a mod of Friday Night Funkin' has in store for me when it comes to music around that. I wonder if it's going to follow the same formula or what, so we'll know if I don't listen. And without further ado, let's go!
So I hear you want to learn about music, it's true.
Oh, it's definitely going to follow the same formula.
So just give me a bit.
Just starting like this immediately.
Like firstly, it's some ground rules that need to be set.
They're actually using there's got to be actual vocal chops from the series.
Taking your turn. Like this patient guy, he has yet to adjourn. Go on then. Now music with structure, cause without there's no style. Like loads of fresh groceries left in the aisle. So get in line, mate, everyone gets a face. Cause if there's no structure, you're no better than being replaced.
I kind of like that these don't have any lyrics, because their input never matters.
Get creative with a large library of sound. Like a
nice reference.
And whatever else is around. We can sit here all day and pretend you're a pro. But how about some genres that you need to know? Like happy.
I do be happy.
And funky.
Do be funky. Okay.
On the computer.
On the computer. That's a genre.
And there's many more choices for all different voices. You'll just have to accept that it won't be as good as the other. Find the style that speaks true to you.
Okay.
If they don't have the view.
Chill out, bro.
It's bliss, but if a tree were to twist and fall in a forest with no one, did it truly exist?
Okay, now we're hitting the full tilt.
Have you ever had a tune so catchy that it nestles its way in your brain?
Okay.
Like a parasite taking its fill, coercing you into its refrain? Have you ever had a track so you it's projected?
This is really neat. It's going full CG for this.
Notation and hey, where did everyone go? My brain chemistry's been rewired so tight. It makes me wonder if it's worth it.
I thought this was Friday Night Funkin', not Five Nights at Freddy's.
I just had to bite, as everyone should if they haven't been seen yet.
Dude, I love that.
Inside of my head, how low and but stupid, what is there instead? This is all there can be, this is all I believe. If I went back to me, I don't know what the mirror would see.
Okay.
How about 3 more genres? There's ego.
Yeah, I was about to say, it feels like ego death.
There's guilt. There's mixing.
Yeah, that's a genre.
And there's many more choices for all different voices. You'll just have to accept that you'll never be good enough.
Valid, honestly. Honestly valid. That's really fucking cool, actually. Holy shit. I figured immediately that they were gonna do the whole, follow the formula thing, but they did it better than I ever would have expected them to. Holy shit. This song has a lot going on musically. Of course, what they're trying to do is change the tone of the song as it goes through in order to fit the vibe of the music. So when we start out, we actually don't even follow the exact tonic of this song, which I believe the key is in C sharp minor, but I think we start in C sharp. So C sharp is just this, right? And if you want to do C sharp minor, it's very close, obviously, just the middle finger changes there. And that's all right, cool. So we have that difference, but we're starting with this one because it's immediately brighter. You can tell that that's a little bit more of an uplifting feeling. And then they also utilize A and B. So we kind of get this nice lift here. You can hear that. Beautiful, right? Perfect for that upbeat, uplifting sort of feel, but that's not exactly where they stay, obviously, is it? So there's a lot of changes that happen through here, and one of those is actually utilizing this, which is an A sharp or a B flat, which is an interesting one. And the reason that that's interesting is because that doesn't fit in C sharp minor. That, like, the B is in C sharp minor. The B flat is not, but it's exactly that quality that they're borrowing these chords from different keys and making things sound a little bit off very subtly throughout too. I feel like a lot of them might also be using sevenths and ninths in order to pull this off, because that's something that is a classic in like expanding all of the sound that you can have in here, which happens a few times I'll bring up later. But this entire song is kind of using most of that density of adding extra notes to the chords in order to make it a little bit more ambiguous where things are. So a lot of what I'm saying is based off of my ear entirely, and I can't quite tell where they're going with some of these, but I'm trying my best to figure it out given what I have. And one of those exact weird moments is that step down from the A sharp B flat there to an A, and then down to an A minor. And then it also goes down to a D minor, but not just that. I think that it brings the seventh and the ninth in here, which is also the A minor we just had. It's part of the exact same set. So you just add two more notes, you get a D minor or an A flat with the seventh and ninth in there, and it's just that density right there. It's, ooh, you know, it's a little jazzy. You could even add an 11th. That's a lot, but that's exactly the point, I believe. They're trying to add all of that detail and make it harder to tell where things are coming from, which tracks with the theme of the song and everything. And just, man, I want to get to the theme of the song too, but the music theory here is so tasty. It's so good because like all that going on, we had the bright stuff, we had that like kind of tear down, everything is starting to work in the opposite direction. We had that like brightness, right? Beautiful. And then we start to work our way completely down to where things no longer feel quite right, and there's just a little too much going on there in the mix of everything else. And then when the actual like shut down, the ego death kind of part happens, we get the what might be the C minor in here, where it kind of uses that, right? And it's doing that and then bouncing up to the like G sharp as well, which is interesting because it might be just a straight up G sharp. It might be a G sharp minor. This is exactly the other issue with this, is it's hard to tell exactly where some of these are landing. I think that it might just be C sharp and the G sharp, which it would be the brightest, but also clashing that against the tone would make the most sense as well. Like to make sure that that feels wrong is to make this brighter. But I do believe that they use the C minor in the build-up and like how everything actually starts breaking down, like right around the time the CG comes into play in the video. That part, I think they're using a lot of that. There's also the switching of the genres thing that they were doing, where they use different chords in here. Like I think that there was an F sharp minor in there as well as the G sharp minor. I think that that's kind of where those played in there. Oops, kind of messed up on that one, but you get the point. So there's potential for that as well. It just feels like that's where they're trying to utilize these differences and why it's so hard to figure out exactly what key everything is in, because they're doing so much to skew the song as it goes that it's kind of difficult to pinpoint exactly what key it should be in. When you're doing stuff like this, to be able to like slide between notes and change the energy of a song, it can be extremely hard to figure out exactly what key we're in. So that's kind of where I'm sitting here. Like, I'm pretty sure it's C sharp minor, and that might be where we are, at least in bulk, but that doesn't mean we're there the whole time. It could easily shift to something adjacent, like just straight up C sharp, because C sharp minor utilizes too many of the white keys, because that's just kind of the adjustment that needs to be made between the two keys in order to make them work. That's why you get things like the A and the B in there. because those are already a part of that DNA in the C sharp area, but like not quite, and that's why it's C sharp minor. At least in the beginning, I'm pretty sure we're in C sharp minor. I know I'm kind of harping on that, but that's why it's so difficult, because this song is so dense with where it goes and where it takes you and what chords it utilizes that it is just very hard. Now, for my actual thoughts on the song and the intent of it all, fucking glorious. I love that they went down this path of kind of replicating the exact vibe of the show. I like that they didn't have the vocals of the actual playable characters, because sometimes they do that in these mods, but for this one, it makes sense to not have them, because whenever in Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, have they ever actually made a difference? Because the main characters are supposed to be vessels for like us experiencing all of this as well. They don't really have a say in the matter. The villain, quote unquote, of the episodes do. So them not really being able to say anything totally tracks with the, again, vibe of the song here. And the like microphone just going fucking crazy is obviously there for the tone of the series and everything. But also I really love how they did it with this video. I'm sure that this video probably appears in the actual mod as well. That would totally track. Like having that whole shift to CG would be insane to see, but also fucking perfect. Again, that whole adjustment of suddenly having a different art style to deal with. And same thing when we come out of the CG back into the other drawing, that like fucking Eldritch Abomination version of the microphone. It all just works this way and it feels so good. Like I was kind of clowning on it when it showed up just a little bit, but it's all in good fun. I think that that was fucking perfect tone. Like they nailed that shit. Love that. And also the vocal performance of the microphone. Holy shit. Like, I don't think it would be as noticeable for a lot of people, but the emotion that this microphone was able to pull out, the subtlety in some of these lines, like not even just before, but during that breakdown. It's not just the, oh, he's starting to sound a little bit more angry. It's like you could feel the pain in that shit. And that is a hard, like little window of emotion to be able to get into. I've done voice acting in the past, and that is something that can be extremely subtle to the point of having to re-record shit over and over and over again to be able to get there, because it's just hard to find. So this microphone voice actor fucking nailed it, nailed everything when it came to the emotion. Every single thing, from the subtlety of starting really happy and proud and kind of just being dismissive and then turning that into anger and ego death as we went. And the lyricism as well. I really liked the lyrics of this one. I figured that they were going to be taking the path of like musician ego death, because it can be a lot. You know, you get a little bit of that imposter syndrome mixed in there, and being a musician can be hell for people who constantly try to better themselves and do more in their careers, and it never quite gets there. That frustration is a universal experience for musicians. So that's kind of where this comes from. We've all felt this, you know? The best villains in all of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared are the ones that are rooted in a little bit of truth from the writers, and I think that is 100% the situation here. And who better to write about musicians going through some shit than, of course, musicians. So they're making it. That would totally track, and it all just fits so well. Tonally, this is a fucking brilliant mod. I love everything from the music and how they handled it, how they adjusted for it all the way through, the performance of the voices, how they had like the intermittent quality of the main characters kind of trying to be a part of the song at first, but again, not really having a say in the matter because their opinion does not matter at the end of the day, and just the craziness it turns into. Fucking brilliant. I love all the bashing complexity at the end as well, like as he like completely loses his shit. There are times where I'm pretty sure that it's like trying to hit a chord and there actually isn't. Like I think there's a point where it just sits on like the A sharp there, and it's like the other hand is just bashing into it, like it's just literally this. So you're still getting some of the chord in there, but the other hand is just slapping on the other side of the keyboard just to create more of that density. Like just complete chaos in there, beautiful storytelling in it. Really fucking cool song in general, and I love that they hit that vibe. So fantastic work. 10 out of 10. Great song. But I think that's about all I gotta say on this one. So thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you want me to get to something else, by all means, drop in the comments below and I will do my best as always to get to those. Or if like Devin did, you want to guarantee that I listen to something, you can always go to my Patreon or my YouTube memberships, or you can force me to listen to something. Doesn't matter what it's from, who it's by, if it's good or bad, none of that matters. That's why it's a guarantee. But if you don't want to do any of that and you just want to follow me and support me for more stuff coming in the future, you know how to do all that. And I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye!